Wildly uninteresting. Welcome to Wildly Uninteresting. I am your host, Adam Ashby. This is the beautiful Sarah Ashby.
Hi.
And this is the amazing Ian Brock.
Ian Brizzy.
And we are here
Hello.
to talk about a whole lot of motherfucking nothing.
Yeah,
Blah.
it's good to be here.
Yeah, man. And so how's the week gone? I always start what is that? I start the podcast and ask, how's the week?
Yeah, how's the week been? How's
Nobody
everybody
cares
doing?
what our fucking week has been like. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't care what their week's been like. So
I think I want to
Yeah,
first
fuck you and your week.
first point out.
It's
So
weak.
we talked about it beforehand about learning the piano.
Yes.
And for us musicians and those musicians out there, because I feel like
musicians.
when can you call yourself a musician?
Gather round.
Like,
you-
do you just play? What
When
if
you
you
play
just play
music.
power chords on the guitar?
Then you're a
Are you a
shitty musician.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Then you're a 90s band.
my
Yeah.
thing is, like, I don't know
Or early
when to
2000s.
call myself a musician, but I feel like I can play, drums, guitar, bass. Every guitar player can play bass, so I'm going to take that one
Yeah,
off the
because
list.
it's not
I
a
can
real
play
instrument.
bass.
It's not a real
Yeah.
instrument.
So,
So
retarded monkey with no hands can play bass.
for coming from a guitar player's standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
how we talked about it, my left hand or whatever your dominant hand's usually always the one that's doing the, picking out the notes on the neck of the
The
guitar.
intricate shit.
Yeah. And your right hand, you just one general, this is all it does. It goes up and down and it looks like this, right?
It reminds me of Krychek making tea from the X-Files.
Yeah.
Everything does.
So now that I'm trying to integrate both hands doing different things, I think learning the drums has helped me with
we
coordinating
have
two
to.
different. Yeah.
Because you're using your feet too.
Right.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah. It's,
Man,
Get them all going.
that's like having like thick ass whatever calf muscles saying, I don't know if I can jump over that. I've already got a head start.
They so it was
Sorry.
just strange trying to make both hands do
Yes.
different things, different tempos.
That
different-
is really fucking weird.
and it's funny because coming from somebody that like I can look up music online and play it on guitar or drums or whatever, and I can kind of get my head around it, right? I've had to go to like Mary Had a Little Lamb and Ode to Joy and shit and
Yeah.
play that real slow, and I even
The old
fuck it
timer
up.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like I'm starting as a kid.
Hey, come
Well, I
watch this,
think-
Granny.
Hey, that's what I told him, though. It's like you're
good,
literally,
though.
you're learning a brand new instrument. Like, yes, you played like as a kid, but you didn't
Yeah.
play piano as a piano player.
Right.
It was like just like I used to do it too. Like I had books and I played it and everything, but it's totally different if you're doing it the way it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You'd be a badass pizza maker. You gotta learn something for a souffle.
Right.
Whatever the fuck that is.
I kind of like it though. I kind of like going back to
like a
not
fancy
knowing
casserole.
anything. Like I told her, I kind of wanted, because I'm a licensed electrician, I kind of want to go and be an apprentice
You're wearing your shirt.
HVAC guy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like go back and learn something that I've never learned before and start from the bottom again, because that was a fun process to get from, oh, I don't know a fucking thing and I'm, the lowest man on the totem pole, and work my way back up, because after you get to a certain point in your career, like it's time to learn another thing, because would I want to fucking do this my whole life, just like one thing the rest of my life,
Probably.
But that's why I pick out like
Him?
instruments I
Definitely
want to learn, like drumming. I pick that out because I just want to learn new things. So then I looked into the biology behind playing piano, and all these fucking health benefits for your brain comes from learning the piano. And not like if you already play it, it's different. Like actually learning it,
You've already had the effects.
yeah.
Yeah.
It creates new connections, and then the left and right hemisphere, that section in between the brain, it makes new connection. It strengthens that connection, that bond between the left and right. I didn't know that when I first started, but I was looking that up and reading it. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm strengthening
All you gotta
the
do is
left
bring
and
them
right.
together.
Yeah,
I'd
man.
like to see your brain. Not
I would
like
like to
on
see
the
it, too.
table, but like a scan of it.
Either way
Yeah.
is cool.
You can keep it. I
I'd
just
like to
wanna look.
see my brain when I'm learning. Like what is it actually doing? What's lighting up? while I'm learning.
That's one of my favorite things to look at online is brain scans. Anytime I swear, anytime I'm learning about anything, well, especially like with my job, like if I'm going to talk to someone about, doing drugs, how it impacts your body and stopping, I need to know exactly how it's working in here, or I feel like I can't have an adequate conversation.
Fixing a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I look up all of that stuff to see, and I like to look at the brain scans to see this is a non-user, this is someone who is currently using, someone who's used and stopped, and compare all that shit. It just helps me. It's the visual part, I guess. I'm a visual learner.
Hell yeah. So whenever you were when you were in college and shit, whenever your teachers would say stuff, I guess did you get a visual image of it in your head? Like, did you picture it visually, or did you just remember the words and then you're like,
It would really depend on what it was. There's a lot of stuff that, like when I'm specifically studying, I like to read it in a book, because if I can't put my finger quite on what it is, I can see it on the page and I can find it. All I got to do is scan and I can find it. So it kind of just depends on what it is. But visually,
and then you remember like a specific like cup of tea or whatever. You're like, there was the tea, and I grabbed it, and then it was page 57 towards the top.
Yes, that's exactly. I can see it. Oh, it's within the first 3 lines. So, but visually seeing stuff, I sometimes would.
I'd
like
be
what they were saying.
I'm a hands-on learner. Like that's why I never did well in school. Not that's the only reason, but there's a lot of other reasons.
IQ is also important.
If they would, and I think a lot of people are like this, but me, I want to like take it apart. I want to fuck with it. I want to put it back together. Like I don't like the on paper. Even when I'm doing my code tests and all that shit, like I get so brain dead because I'm like, there's just words on paper. I'm not learning this. So I would rather if they would make it where I could physically touch math or physically do chemistry. Like they would try to teach us how to do it in the book. I'm like, just let me fucking mix some shit together.
If they just give you like Lego math.
Yeah.
Or like you have
I'd fuck it up.
a blocky 3 with like a like a pi symbol and shit.
Yeah
man.
He's doing advanced physics just because of the
With Legos.
Hey, I got toys now. I'm a genius.
That's I swear, man.
That'd be cool.
Ever since I was a kid, I would build things like contraptions and go-kart tracks with a ball that would land in the basket and then go whatever. Like you remember that mousetrap game?
Hell yeah.
Kind of like that. And
I don't know if I ever played that game legitimately.
No, I always put it together and
That
fucking.
shit took too long to put together.
Hey, let's catch the stationary mouse.
Yeah. But that's I think for a lot of people though,
on top of it is what that is.
that they're not so much what would you call that kind of learning when you can see it on paper and you're just like academically speaking, they're normal learners where me, I have to fucking take shit apart.
Visual literary.
Yeah, if it has anything to do with something on paper and I have to write, pen to paper, stuff like that, I'm going to do terrible. I'd rather do it hands on. And that's why I like instruments. And it's that next one, when I get the keyboard down or piano down, whichever, my next goal is cello. Because I've always I'd played cello for a little bit and it was just entirely different, so much different. I want to keep plucking it, you know what I mean?
So I've kind of fucked with cello type things before, and it's more you just kind of feel it out. It's not. I mean, you can get wild with it, but it's more just creating an ambience,
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
I want to learn to play
Unless
the
you want
accordion.
to be Charlie Daniels. Yeah.
I really want to learn to play the accordion.
Yeah, man, that's a weird instrument too because of how you have to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be like learning the bagpipes because you have to fill up with air and constantly press in on the bag while you're blowing air back into it and doing the notes. Like it's kind of a strange instrument.
It would probably make you a weird dancer.
Yeah. For sure. Everything kind of moving.
Yeah. I'm used to this bag of air. Sorry.
What the fuck is the name of that store that we rent all doo-wop shop?
Doo-wop?
They had an accordion they had a couple of them and I'd always go and pick it up. I just felt like connected to that instrument, dude. I felt like, oh yes, I'm good at this already.
This one's already in my blood.
Yes.
I was always drawn to piano, though. That's why it's crazy. I did guitar mainly because my dad was like, you got to play guitar.
Yeah.
Not you have to, like he forced me, but that was his, I wanted to be
Do it or die.
Yeah. My
Well,
dad
no,
was my
it's-
hero, so I wanted to,
This is what I did. You should too.
you should do this.
Yeah.
That's what he knew. But I always, every time I seen a keyboard or a piano, like I was drawn to it. I was like, I want to play this fucking thing, but I don't know how, And I think I had like one lesson. That was it.
I'll teach you, my boy.
My boy.
My
Man, we watched this
licked it.
fucking documentary about your data, like the data from your phone, the data from your social media. Like you are more than just your DNA now. Like you are a collection of data points on a sheet of paper, right?
Wait, what?
We're talking
So
about fighting for like your data rights and stuff.
yeah, like you have data rights. So
What?
Actually,
yeah,
we don't. That's
everything
what they're
that
fighting
you
for,
do
though.
from social media to looking on Google to using your debit card, all this is collected in
Yeah.
this big database with your name. Like you search your name, you have all this data, so that
Yeah.
they know you better than you know you.
Mm-hmm.
They know what you do and where you go and all, better than you do. Right? It's an algorithm that puts it all together. And what they use it for, what they were using it for, was to put aggressive advertising, so that they could sway your decision to buy something, because they knew you from the inside
If
out.
they could like determine who was most influential and could be, they could. Maybe they're like on the line of I think this or I think that, and they'll just they create literally fake news. It's shit that's just completely made up, and they'll throw it in
But
there as
that's-
your advertisement to get you to vote for this person rather than this person.
Yeah.
And they did that. Cambridge Analytica.
Yep.
What they did was they swayed people's votes in each state
So cool.
that were like on the fence, or was they didn't know where they were gonna go, and
Yeah.
they knew they could be swayed. So what they did, they pinpointed these people, and then
Right.
they aggressively advertised to them, like hate advertisements for what's
Shit to get
the
them
bitch's
riled
name?
up.
Oh, Clinton.
Clinton, right?
Yeah.
And then so it would sway their vote for him, so they would vote for Trump. And so that what they said, so by the end of this fucking
They
thing,
don't
we're
do
like,
it just in America. They do
Yeah.
it all over the fucking world.
by the end of it, dude, I'm fucking freaked out. Like, what the fuck is going on? And then, so that the guy was
Wait,
trying to
there's
get
more.
his
Yeah.
his data, like he was fighting for the rights to his own
He
data,
wanted to know what they had. He
Oh,
asked, "Can I
okay.
see this shit?"
and they didn't do
Yeah.
it.
They wouldn't let him see it.
They quote unquote shut it down. But I'm telling you what, right now, when I get on Google, say I'm like, yo,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to buy a new guitar, right?
They know.
Specifically, like a Martin guitar, right? I'm looking on Google, like, fuck it, I'll put it away. Then I open up Facebook, maybe an hour later. The first advertisement that's on my Facebook is Martin guitars or Sabian cymbals. Something that I'm looking, and I'm like, how the fuck? But see, you can't sway me, though. No. I don't know if they can sway you all, but they cannot
sway
fucking
me,
sway
bitch.
me. That I will not be swayed or persuaded to do anything, because I have a mind of my own. What we talked about, who they're targeting are people that are
The
Pussy bitches.
weak-minded couch people.
Yes.
Yeah.
the people that don't really have that that brain for themselves. I guess for layman's terms, like something. They have to be persuaded. They're persuaded all day long.
Yeah.
That's why they sit there for hours watching whatever show they're
I
watching.
guarantee that they could put up one type of like ad and persuade them one way, and then the following week put up one that's completely contradicting, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Oh yeah, like
Oh,
completely, yeah."
Sir, are you aware of what contradictions are? Well, I saw these two stories.
I don't believe in contradictions.
They're both real.
So and then you get into looking at that, and when you talk about like racial things and religious things,
people
how
all
much do
amped
you
up.
see a day? You probably just see it on Google, but you can see it on like Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, to where, they make the world seem fucking terrible, but in reality
Yeah.
it's not.
Luckily, I don't have any of that because even on my Google, when I go to search something, all the stuff that's below it is personalized based on what I've searched before. So I don't read fucked up shit like that. So it's never that stuff. It's stuff about like Rick and Morty or My Chemical Romance or something like that. Grey's Anatomy. There's nothing
I get a
else.
combination of the two. You know, like the fucked up shit, and then it's just, well, here's a supernatural thing.
Does
The
that?
show, not the stuff.
I think what happened though, and see, it was an old war, and they militarized it because they put it out there so that they could turn one group against another. Just like they do any type of anything is going to be militarized no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes out, they're going to find a way to use it in war. But the crazy thing is about all that shit is that they said that they shut it down. And, you know, Cambridge Analytica, they shut that down, all that. Come on.
Yeah.
They're still using that shit.
Yeah, they didn't shut that shit down. Yeah, because they said they shut it down once before and they didn't.
Yeah.
And they admitted to it.
I mean, in general, I'm okay with it. I don't care.
I'm kind of okay with it because
I mean,
I
it's
feel
just,
okay about it.
It's
you
just
know?
using people's like own actions and desires in a way that isn't, I guess, natural or necessarily positive.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it's still based in fact. So I mean, it's like if you're going to use this external source of information and shit, then fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Plus, it kind of
Can't blame
serves as a reason for us to think more independently and for ourselves, and
Hell
actually to
yeah.
consider shit outside.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if we don't start thinking about things more explicitly and in depth, then we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then that's fine because it was there to begin with anyway.
Right.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like anything like that's because they're using it for
Nefarious.
It's
I was
always
gonna say,
been that
essentially,
way,
like
though.
against ourselves in a sense, like because they want to control things and make it swing one way or another. Like that's an unfair.
But it's always been like that. Even like back at Reefer Madness and all that shit, they've always used propaganda to swing people one way or another.
Which
but
is
they
weird
also-
that was Hollywood.
Right.
Well, it's. Oh no! What?
It was Hollywood, and they put out the propaganda shit,
Yeah.
and then and you know now they're all like, oh, we're woke, we're smart
We're
celebrities,
woke.
but you know it could all just be the propaganda, and they're just going along with it. We're so smart.
Yeah, we're so smart.
A lot of people in Hollywood
believe her.
also believe in Scientology, so fuck them.
Yeah.
Simmer down.
Fucking
You remember the time we went
Scientology.
into the Scientologist thing?
Yes, that was weird.
It was super fucking weird, dude. That was the creepiest thing I've ever done in my life, and I've spent a lot of time in graveyards.
Yes. I know, graveyards. At least they don't try to convert you to anything.
I know, dude.
Do
Oh
they
my
try to
God.
come
Join
up to
the
you?
ranks of the dead.
There was no one in the lobby when we walked in. We stood
That's a
there for
good
it was
thing.
minutes,
Yeah.
and no one ever came out. And we were like, we need to
Not
fucking
minutes.
leave, dude. I'd say it was probably 10 minutes or better. We stood there and had a
That
full-on
was a minute.
conversation.
Yeah.
That's
Grabbed some pamphlets and dipped out.
the fucking thing we watched about Scientology just blew me away. See, I had a different vision of what Scientology. I thought they believed in like aliens
They
come
do.
down. Is that what it is? I
Well,
don't know the
Well, it's alien souls,
right.
pretty much. Yeah.
It's so weird. And then a lot of people say that they get brainwashed in that shit, and they're
Well, that shit's
like,
a cult. I don't
it's
care
a
what
cult.
this shit
Oh,
is.
everything's a cult. It's just it gets too big to be labeled a cult.
I feel like the only thing that's different from a cult versus something else is that cults tend to be bad and have
That's the intonation, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that the right
can
word?
incite violence.
inclination.
Inclination?
I
don't know.
think.
I don't
would
know.
I would say that the Christian
Either
church,
way, that's that.
Yeah.
I would say the Christian church is the same way because
Moving on.
I go around my family members that are like super Christian and they don't want to talk about anything else but like Jesus, God, and why you're not in church. Or why. Because recently
Right.
I got kicked off like the music because of this podcast, which is whatever. And
It's also because of pussy bitches.
yeah. And I get asked all the time, like, okay, I went to go visit my new grandma, right? And the first thing she come up and said to me, right, didn't give me a hug, didn't say
Hang
hi,
on,
none of that
explain
shit.
that.
Oh, my grandma died of ALS.
Yeah.
And then maybe 2 weeks later, my grandpa was like with this chick from church,
He's trying to get that pussy.
trying to dip his wick in it.
He married her so he could fuck her because she's super religious and she wasn't going to sleep with them without it.
Nope.
That's awesome.
So they say, so this is my
Pavel
new
fucking
grandma.
gets it, dude.
She comes into the room and was like, the first thing, she didn't fucking hug me, say hi, how you doing? She said, you need to come to a Bible study with me. Have you ever been? And I'm like, bitch, I know where you're going with this. Like, I'm okay with myself and God. Just because I say fuck, dick, and cunt doesn't mean I don't believe in God.
Just crazy to me that the people, I guess it's mainly people in the church, they think that you are going down the wrong path if you are not in a church. You need to be in a church. You cannot be involved. You can't, I guess, grow your spirituality or anything unless you're in a church. It's got to be.
I kind of like the idea of that because, you know, people seeking higher truths and shit. You think about it, you get different perspectives of it, you know, and you talk it out, you find new things, and, you know, you grow yourself. But the Christian folk that tend to be doing that, it's very narrow-minded.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about, but Christianity would be a cult if it was smaller.
Oh, for sure.
Pretty much any religion is a cult
I feel
if it's
like
small.
it is a cult. Like, even though it's not small, I still kind of feel like it's culty. Like, it's just like if you if you walk into like an AA meeting or even talk to somebody who's involved in AA, they say the same shit.
Yeah.
It's like they're just producing
because they
have
their
people.
they have their outline and then they stick to it. It's like whenever you teach a third grader like science.
Yeah.
They're all saying the same shit.
Yeah.
But it's less creepy, I guess, if it's a governing body that has us producing the same sounds.
I guess that's my issue with it, though, is that it's these things are just so black and white. This is the way it is.
This is it.
And
we watched
I'm just such a gray person. There
scrolled
is no
past
black and white to me.
I scrolled past the video of
How
this
do you
white
get gray
lady.
but without the black and white?
This white lady was like,
Its own.
the Bible says, this is what she said, the Bible says
Jesus.
that a white woman cannot be with a black man.
What?
Or vice versa.
Yeah, so a white woman cannot be with a black man. Said the Bible said that.
So the Bible said that.
Let's burn that bitch.
Yeah. I couldn't
Not
believe
the
it.
book. The bitch who said it.
Yeah,
The interviewer was a black lady, which was funny. She was like I was telling you, and the black bitch was like, I'm gonna slap you with this microphone.
She said, "I have no, there's nothing wrong with two black people getting married. The problem is when it's a white woman and a black man." I'm like, what do you?
She's just mad that no
And
black
vice
dudes
versa.
come hollering.
Dude, I just don't. I would love to be like, well, can you show me where it says that in the Bible?
Yeah.
Because you know the people in the Bible aren't white, right?
Yeah.
It ain't
It's
white,
just
it
those
ain't
angry
white.
ass brown people dictating shit.
I know. I don't understand.
So Christianity, all that shit,
Weird that I
Scientology,
hadn't
all
thought of it
that
like that.
Mm-hmm.
plays on it. It's just like what society is. We have to, not we, because I'm not a part of it. I don't give a shit.
You are a part of it.
No, they want you to be a part of a fucking group.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want you to stick you inside these little groups and make you, fucking turn on each other. So you're fighting. If we're too busy fighting ourselves, we won't fight a government that is shoving it in our ass every day. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of what they were talking about in that thing that we watched about the data rights and everything, is that they were essentially turning society against each other with it as well by making all this fake news, that they're turning everyone against each other because
what happened was the internet came on so quickly that nobody knew what the fuck it was.
Right.
Nobody knew how to control it. It was a thing that just started growing like a disease.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it was great, because it was just growing unrestricted.
Yeah,
Wasn't
but that's
it-
weird. They say that.
And I feel like it brought everybody closer together for a while.
It did.
Well,
You
that's
got
what I
it.
was
meant
gonna
for.
say. Is it was that fucking show where they eat the hot wings.
Hot ones.
Hot ones. Kumail Nanjiani was on there, and he said that when X-Files first came out, it was when the internet first
Oh,
started.
yeah, dude.
And there was a bunch of shit, and everyone was talking about how great it was, and
It's
in
bringing
the
people together.
Yes, in the shortest amount of time, though, he saw it change from positivity to "fuck you, you're an idiot," and all kinds of just
How'd that happen?
absurdities, and it just like that.
But why? Why do you think that people got negative very quickly? What is that? What is it in people that makes you want to be
A
fucking
dick?
negative to, especially behind a keyboard?
When you can't
Anonymous
you're not face to
anger
When you're
face.
and
anonymous.
frustration because
Yeah.
you deal with shit in your regular life. You feel like you don't have control over it. You can't
Yep.
lash out at the people that are directly in front of you.
Oh,
So you just
yeah.
let strangers have it.
Dude,
And then
get
people-
a goddamn therapist.
No. I think people that are responding negatively to the negativity on the internet just need to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, how you?
It's like you're the one that's supposed to be reasonable.
Yeah, how are
But-
you gonna go on there and be like, "No, fuck you. This is so
Yeah.
stupid. Don't
You gotta
say
love
negative
those people,
shit."
though.
Fuck you, be nice.
Yeah. You gotta love those people that are legitimately getting in these wars with other people online. Why the fuck do you keep feeding into it, you
Yeah.
dumb shit?
That's what Bill Burr said, that he used to get on there and just like drop some fucked up shit in a chat room and then just jump out and
yeah,
just
dude. I like to
start a
do that.
riot and
Dude, do you fucking remember AOL Messenger?
oh yeah, I
y'all?
love that
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I jacked off on AOL Messenger, bro.
shit. What the fuck?
How many people I was like, I don't care who it was, like, hey,
Did you
you
have it
want to
like
see me
physically
jack
in
off?
front of you? Oh, okay, like that.
You meant literally.
Yeah, like, hey.
Like have someone talk dirty to you and you fucking jerk
Oh
it.
no! They don't have to talk
I
to
did
me
that
at all.
once.
I just want
I was at
them
Omen's,
to
though.
see
It was
my
a
dick.
sleepover.
It was a sleepover.
I swear I've done it. I've done it at a buddy of mine's house where I fucking I was beating it. He was asleep. I'm just like, they didn't even have to fucking be on the camera. I was just
Yeah.
wanting to beat it to the world. Like, yo, I do
This
this.
to the world.
I do this at home
Embrace me,
alone.
world.
Yeah, take this.
I couldn't do this with the TV.
Damn, dude, that was a good life, man. Back when AOL, I went to friends' houses like, dude, this is the shit. But you got to think, like, our parents, how weird it must have been for them when the internet came out. Because us, we were kids. We kind of, our
Kids are
minds were
quick
still,
to embrace new shit.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this is fine. This is normal. Like, can you,
Yeah, 'cause we
I
had-
couldn't imagine if I was a 40-year-old fucking adult. Like, what is this? I come from a
Right.
time where, TVs didn't even exist until I was 6 or something.
So what's going to be the next thing that does that?
Dude, I don't know. I think AI.
fucking robots.
Yeah.
God
We
think-
see,
damn
we
it.
see them coming. We're gonna hate. Well, you're
Yeah.
gonna hate them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sure,
love
I hate
them.
I fucking hate them.
Unconditionally.
So here, I might lighten the mood on the AI robots.
No, wait, simmer down. Before, keep that in mind. But I wanted to go back to the cult idea because I love 30 Seconds to Mars, and people have been saying recently they've been talking about him being a cult again. But like, there's a video for a song like off the This Is War album. I think it's Closer to the Edge, maybe. But there's a little, a single image that flashes up. It says, "Yes, this is a cult."
It's awesome.
But there was a picture that came out recently from like a Camp Mars or like a Mars Island thing or whatever. People getting together, and Leto was up there looking like Jesus, and like everybody, him included, was wearing like the white kind of like shit. So it's just like, I don't know, a couple hundred people hanging out on a beach wearing white while Leto looks like Jesus, and they're like, "This is a fucking cult."
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm like, well, it's obviously a cult. Now
Obviously.
embrace it.
Take it.
So I tell people sometimes, they ask about my tattoo, and I'm like, well, I'm in a cult. and they think I'm joking. And it's like, no, I'm in a cult. It's fun.
It's fun. We have a good time on the weekends.
All right, now you can lighten it if you'd like.
Oh, I lighten the mood on the AI robots thing. The Elon Musk
Yeah.
is going to send a humanoid robot into space to give us a better idea of like Mars and the ones that we can reach. So they're gonna land this robot on Mars.
So it's going to like walk
It's
around.
gonna walk around,
Now
bro,
see,
pick things
that's
up.
fucking cool. If they
Bring
would
back
use it for
information.
shit like that,
Yeah.
I dig it.
You got to think, because whether we did or you two are the gassiest
I know, you
motherfuckers
looked
this
like you were gonna
episode.
kill me. I was like, I burped like 5 times. I don't know
And
why
then
right
his
now is the
6, and I'm
problem.
like, God damn. So, if you think about it, if we did or didn't go to the moon, right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened in that, if we did or didn't, I don't know. Nobody knows. Whatever. So
Well, I mean, Lance Armstrong
now they can
knows.
actually send something into space that isn't like human. Like they can shoot that motherfucker by himself, like, into space. He doesn't have to have the suit. He doesn't have to die. He doesn't have to radiation poisoning or whatever else
I
comes
wonder
from
if
fucking
it'll.
space.
Well, no, I was gonna say I wonder if it'll like crush them, like the weight of it. But no, I guess
man,
if
it's titanium.
the fucking spaceship gets out there, why wouldn't the robot?
Right.
And the spaceship is made of fucking aluminum foil.
He gets crushed by space, and as a humanoid, he's like, I feel myself crunching. And those are his final words.
Oh no,
I saw-
little.
Oh, no, go for it.
I was just gonna say little AI, whatever his name is fucking dead. He died on Mars.
Pekadron.
Pekadron?
I'm
Yeah.
fucking
Jerkadron.
A-okay with them shooting a fucking robot into space. Like, but you gotta think though,
good
you're
idea.
like fucked up about robot. Like robots have been here for a very long time.
I know,
Right,
and
but,
they make me uncomfortable.
but what if it goes up there and it becomes sentient, and then it uses the natural
that's-
resources of Mars to
To
wage
destroy
a
Earth?
battle
Yeah.
against humanity?
I swear
How
to
cool
God.
would that be?
That was my first thought. Was
Oh.
it's just gonna find a way to use its resources to fucking destroy us.
That's fucked up. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that at all until I thought, man, that's probably something Sarah doesn't want to happen.
So
Yeah.
there's a mad race to get like explore the universe, which I think should have been happening anyways. We should have that's where our attention should have been
Yeah.
forever.
Instead
Fuck
of looking
all
for the
war
West
and
Indies,
everything.
Columbus should have been looking for Venus.
Fuck all that shit. You should have been looking in outer space from the beginning so that we could move. But if you watch Ancient Aliens or any of those other movies, there's certain groups of people that all they can tell from the data they've collected from these sites is that the people left that area very quickly, like it's too quick. Like they left and it left it all barren and all that.
They left
And
their
what their-
TVs.
Their thoughts is that they left Earth, went into outer space, and lived because of a natural disaster where humans couldn't live, so
Yeah.
that they transported themselves to a different planet or whatever, a different universe.
Whoa,
Whereas-
transported themselves or were taken by aliens?
They were
Well,
taken by
yeah,
aliens.
they don't. They don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I say I
technically.
think their theory is that they already had communication with the aliens
Right.
and they assisted them to
I mean,
leave.
that seems reasonable.
But think
Yeah.
about it now. Like with Elon Musk and this race to get a fucking Tesla on Mars.
Yeah.
What if they're trying to build that so that the elite or the smartest, brightest, all that can leave Earth because they know something is headed our way to really fucking destroy us again?
Even
You get what I'm saying?
if that's the case, though, then the aliens could just pop down and help us out because
They don't want
the
to.
aliens probably aren't in bed with the elite, so to speak.
Right.
yeah,
you know?
but why would they help a fucking group? We don't even know.
Well, why
how
would they
fucking,
have helped them in the past?
Because
I've helped worms across
'cause
the sidewalk.
I
so-
think in the
Right.
past,
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
worry about whatever we worry about, like what's on TV, what are the Kardashians doing. I think back then they were more
Having
interested
big old
in
titties.
the gods and stars and astrology and fucking
That's what we think, but we don't truly know that.
yeah, but you don't see no like TVs laying around like
Well,
he
no, not
said,
TVs, but
and
they
stuff.
still could have their Kardashians.
Could you imagine
Plus,
that?
I mean, they could
An
just use
ancient
stone.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Just a
An
big
ancient
fucking
Kardashian.
butt, little thigh bitch walking around.
I love ancient Kardashian.
Ancient
They're just like
Kardashian.
made of stone.
Well, I
That
think
seems like a fun cartoon.
It does.
I think a lot of it's human nature. Like we have human nature to worry about other people. Or like, you get what I'm saying? I don't think we just learned that for, you know what I mean? Like we learned it growing up, and we're just in a generation that gives a shit about some group of people that don't do a fucking thing.
Right.
Like the Kardashians. I think that because how often do you look up your favorite artist and all that?
All the time.
Very interested in the thing. We're just that kind of people. So probably back then they did have something like that. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, what's Humbug Chumaloo doing?
But
Yeah. Humbug Chumaloo.
You know
fuck
what I
is
mean?
that?
It's a tribal man.
He's
it's
ancient
like
Kardashian.
he's the ancient Kardashian, bro. Are you not listening?
Yeah, where have you been?
I just wasn't ready
Fuck.
for it. I don't know.
Humbug.
Yeah, Humbug
thought
Chumaloo.
I thought I was
God
on that level,
damn.
but I'm not.
But so
Look at that shit written down. Humbug Chumaloo.
what if they're they're planning to get away from us, and because it's going to
let
cost a lot of money.
It makes sense with
It's
the
a
meek
lot
shall
of
inherit
money.
the earth.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
like, here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe what if they all go and they all fucking die in orbit,
That would
and
be
then
awesome.
we're just like, oh, cool, we can do whatever we want with the world.
Yeah,
now.
until the
Challenger
big rock hits
2.0.
us.
Yeah.
Big asteroid fucks us
Maybe
up.
they'll die because they'll crash into the rock and they'll both explode and it'll save the Earth and we'll live
Probably
on.
not.
You
'Cause,
don't know.
They would
Probably
have to
not.
have a representative
You
on
don't know.
Earth, like to launch the thing, and then the
Right.
person launching it could just be a traitor, you know. And they're like, yeah, well, I'm
Double
cool with
agent.
I'm cool with the meek. Fuck the elite, you know. And then it just explodes.
Such a thug.
Yeah,
It's fucking Jeezy.
it's a smart ass Jeezy, dude.
I don't know, man.
Thugged up science.
I think we'll end up fucking ourselves up with nuclear weapons. I think honestly,
Nuclear.
eventually that'll happen.
He did.
Nuclear.
No, he said nuclear the first time.
Oh, I know.
Nuclear.
That's how you
Okay.
didn't know.
No, when I hear people say that, it's like, oh.
Nuclear. Nuclear.
I
All
don't
right.
think
Anyway,
he
I'm
even
sorry.
realized. I think
Continue
it was
with
just an
your thought.
accident.
I
even.
know.
Yeah.
But I think that eventually we will screw ourselves. Like, I think that's human nature too, to destroy stuff, to repeat history over and over and over again. Because think about all the history that's out there, and then the way the world's going now, and the way the world went in the past. How many times has history repeated itself? Quite often, because that's
See,
what it
I
does.
think the idea of thinking of it as human nature might not necessarily be the best approach to it. It's just atomic nature or material nature, because everything dies. Everything destroys itself and breaks down. So we say, oh, it's human nature to do that.
Right.
We're
no.
not necessarily,
Right.
yeah.
Just
it's
people
our
are fucking
shit.
terrible.
Yeah, because it's that on a deeper existential level.
Well, and I feel like if we were like repeating the past happens because people don't bother to learn about the past, and part of the problem is that we're never taught the true past.
Yeah.
We're not taught
Or-
about what really has
Yeah,
happened. They're
that's-
like, let's
yeah,
just
let's
fucking
frame it.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's make it nice and pretty for the
So
teenagers
it
to learn.
fits in this nice little book we
Yeah.
made.
And then people that
Exactly.
and then people that actually do get into history and stuff, they get arrogant and they're like, I'll be the exception. I know it's worked this way many times before.
Oh yeah.
I'll do it differently.
Yeah.
I think people get into whatever they're getting into thinking, oh, this is going to be different. But they don't see they're doing the same thing a different way.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? They're headed on the same path. The outcome's going to be the same.
Yeah.
But they can't see it in the moment. They're like, I'm going to be great and change the world. And you end up like Hitler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, dude.
Like, oh, fuck,
did
I
change
fucking
the
went
world.
the wrong way. I got a question.
He
and
certainly did.
I hate that we always go back to the Bible, but I got a question, right? Do you think? I think it's the fucking.
Not allowed.
I think it's his disciples that fucked Jesus up. Can you imagine being Jesus, right? And then you have
Right.
these 12 people behind you,
Yeah.
and those 12 people were so into you that they told the other Jews that he's our king. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being Jesus? Like, bro, shut the fuck up.
No. He did accept them and bring them along. Or did they just follow him? And he's
just
like,
fucking
man, you
follow him."
motherfuckers run along. I don't need 12 of you.
Right.
Give me your best
I'm
four.
just trying to fucking build a house.
He
Leave me
technically
alone, dude.
only had 11. One fucking turned his back.
Was
But-
Tim one of them?
Oh, I don't know.
Tim.
Timothy. It'd be probably
Apostle.
Timothy. Timothy.
Okay. All right,
Apostle
Timothy.
Tim.
Yeah.
I don't know.
'Cause
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
Because I was thinking, yeah. All right, either way. I just,
But can you imagine?
Tim, run
being-
along. I don't want you to follow me.
Can you
Get him
Timothy
easy.
definitely
imagine,
not
like,
one
yo,
of them.
shut the fuck up. Don't say that because they're gonna put me on the cross. Can you imagine being that guy? Like, yo,
Yeah.
shut up.
Well, I mean, as
Did
it
he
is
call
told,
himself the king of the Jews, or did they call him the king?
They
of the
called him
Yeah.
that.
It's like you can't
Oh,
give yourself
fuck.
a nickname.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can, but
You
you're
don't
that
think
guy.
I want to be the hammer?
Black
Well,
Hammer?
it's just like we've talked about like back in our bad days doing stupid shit. Like that's why you do it alone because then you're less likely one to
Or
get
with
caught.
an army of miscreants?
Hey,
Well, and if you do get caught, you're not going to say anything. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about other people blabbing.
Plead the fifth.
so
Yeah.
I did my
Feel.
wrongdoing. I did like the burglaries and all that
Right.
for a very long time
The
by
alleged
myself.
burglary.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So by myself,
Lawyer squad.
I was okay. Like I would do it. I would, get it paid for, and then buy my drugs all by myself. I was fine. Things were running smooth. I took a week off, right? Now, this is how I know that if you do stuff with that dirt with other people, that's the time you're gonna get caught, because we get into it, right? I took a week off of robbing, like a week off of work. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll take a week. I'm done, right?
Yeah.
So my brother talked me into getting back into it. He's like, yo, just one more time. Show me how you do it. And in that time, I went over and tried to get rid of the shit that I had used and or stole. And that's the time I got caught. So I'm here to tell you that that's a fucking fact. If you do something by yourself, do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you get caught with that person will not be there when you have to pay the consequences.
I'll say the only time that you did something with someone and didn't get caught was us.
Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we lived a fucking rough life before all this, how we got here. But all I'm saying is, if you're going to do something, some fucked up shit, do it by yourself, because whoever you think is there for you is definitely not there for you. No. Whoever you think's your buddy and all that shit,
you'll get locked up and you'll see who's really there.
Yeah. I was thinking that it's probably for the best, though, to learn the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Well, and that's like anything in life. If you do stuff like the easy way, like, you never really learn anything.
Yeah, it's like you know it.
Yeah.
But you don't know it.
Yeah. You gotta go the hard way to really get a lesson.
I hate that, which is why it's like I have I don't know, it kind of makes sense to just, share my wisdom with people. But then my wisdom also says, learn it on your own. Yeah. So why do I even bother talking?
Well, it is part of it. I feel like it's a good idea to share wisdom and stuff, but I mean, realistically,
because I guess some are receptive.
Yeah.
There is no one way.
You can always learn from people's stories. It's just what you do with that.
Yeah. Maybe I can do it better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will rob alone.
I like that. Seems to work out.
That should be we should have that as a shirt. Rob alone.
Rob alone, yes.
Rob alone.
They'll be like, who's Rob alone?
Yeah, why is he by himself? Hug that motherfucker.
Post Malone's brother?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, please can we make Rob alone shirts before the concert?
Rob alone. We're not going to see him.
Yes, we are.
Who? Post Malone?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to go see, we're seeing Hobo Johnson.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the Love
Are they not the same guy?
No.
I truly thought they were up until right this second.
Hobo Johnson is a bad motherfucker.
But it's
kind of spoken word deal.
I'm retarded. I know they're different people. I've heard both of their music and it's totally fucking different. But for some reason in my head, they're the same. They have the same face.
Oh, yeah.
In my head.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, man.
I don't know what Post Malone looks like, actually.
Oh, he looks
like a filthy scrub.
Yeah. He come out looking
Hobo
okay.
Johnson looks like.
He seems like he has a heart of gold, but he looks like a scrub.
Yeah.
Hobo Johnson looks like a fucking scrub.
I've never seen him, but with a name like
homeless
that.
Before.
Yeah.
He just been living that homeless. Hey, what's up with?
Don't just rub off.
I'll find artists before they get big. I find them, before they get good and big and all that shit. Yeah. And they're skinny, and it's like they're starved or some shit. And then the minute they get a fucking dollar in their pocket, they get chubby as fuck.
It's almost like people like eating. Yes.
Yeah.
Just wear purple and get fat, and everybody will know.
They need to go back to being a starving artist because they're fucking chubby as shit.
No, that shit's a sign of royalty.
Oh.
Man. That's what it's supposed to be.
So all these poor people are just royal as fuck. Look at this royal bitch.
That's something that we went downtown to, pass out that food and shit.
Yes.
And it seemed like we weren't the only ones. These people are actually probably living pretty good. Other than the one, what it fucks me up? Because I know they're drug addicts. I know they're alcoholics. I get that, dude. I've been there. I've had to sleep on a park bench before, too. I'm not saying I did a lot. But a lot of them
are just filthy people down there.
A lot of them, like, how could you be in such a shitty position and then still want to use? But I guess being in a shitty position makes you want to use more.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it makes it go away.
Yeah, you have that brief escape, and then you think, well, maybe this will be the time I die.
This is it. Yeah.
If I were in that position, I would use every fucking day that I could.
There were times,
and I'd probably rape too.
Yeah.
When we were really in that position, man, and I would physically try to do so much drugs to where that was it. And I that's why I'm saying things happen for a fucking reason, man. That's why you were brought back when you died. And then, because I mean, I've tried, bro, and it just didn't happen. I swear, dude, I've tried.
I've even
Are you a juggalo?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
You didn't know?
If he was a juggalo, he'd be dead.
No, man.
But he deserves it. No.
Wicked clowns never die. Hell
No,
yeah.
but I've had those thoughts before too, of like when I was using, of just not genuinely trying, but
Yeah.
I'd be okay if this was the
Passively.
last. Yeah, if this was the last time, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
Yeah.
But
Sweet release.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's because it was the easier way out. It's not because I wanted to stop living. It's because I wanted to stop doing what I was doing, and
Right,
I couldn't fucking do it.
It's not preferable, but it's like, fuck it, man.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But when I
was
actually did die, the first thing I did when I was back was cry. I instantly started crying. I was like, oh my fucking God, I got to tell someone about
these
this.
decisions were
Tell somebody.
terrible.
I said that in the back of the ambulance, I have to fucking tell my parents because I can't do this. The fucking EMT, he says, you don't have to. I swear to God.
You don't have to.
No, he told me I didn't have to.
No shit, you satanic son of a bitch.
He's just said, well, I'll just probably see you in a couple months. All right.
Man, you negative fuck.
No, he's a dick.
I tell you,
He's probably
talking
right
about
in most cases.
Yeah.
using in those shitty situations, man. When I got locked up and I was in Louisville still, and they were holding me for court and all that shit. Like, I remember this guy coming in, this fucking hobo, and he had a fucked up hand and stuff. But apparently he was
Fucked up
real big
hobo
on the
hand.
streets. I don't know. He's a really important person.
Everybody knows him.
So he had crack.
Yeah.
Crack was like the biggest thing to bring in because they had it in their belt loops. They had it, you know, you can
socks.
fucking eat it and shit it out later and it still be a rock. You know, you don't have to do nothing to it. But anyways, so he like rolled that shit up and my addict brain was like, yo, I'm getting in on that. And I'd already been in for like a month.
Brain.
Yeah.
Because I heard attic
That's
brain.
what
I was
I
like,
heard too.
why are you upstairs?
So I was in for like a month and, you know, they're going to light it up. I'm like, yo, let me get in on this. And I hit it one time and I'm telling you, I felt the biggest feeling of like regret and remorse for doing it. Like I felt so guilty. I was like, how can you use in this position, bro? Like, how can you bring yourself to use in this position? So I don't get that. Like, I know.
I'd enjoy the novelty of it.
Yeah, there was none. You're high as shit.
No, it's terrible.
You're high as shit in jail. Who wants to do that? Who wants to be high as fuck in jail, bro?
Yeah.
Actually, it was pretty
I mean,
good.
if you're gonna be in jail,
I
But
remember.
I mean, I could certainly understand feeling that guilt and
Oh,
that
absolutely.
sucks. That takes away from
'Cause
the
yeah,
enjoyment
there's no
of it.
enjoyment.
that's more of like your high-minded side, not like high,
Yeah.
but like high-mind, you know.
Yeah.
And then because you're like, this is kind of fucked up. Maybe I shouldn't make it worse.
Yeah, damn it, why'd I do this? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Once you're in there, but I think you got two different people. People who feel that way when they fuck up and they get the remorse and regret and all that. And then another type of person that is just like, fuck it, dude.
yeah, dude.
I was locked up with guys and we were in a SAP program up in LaGrange and Butler County, whatever it is, Buckner County.
Buckhorn.
And these guys were like, yo, I'm just doing this program in prison so I can get out earlier so I can go back to using drugs. They had like a love affair with using drugs. That's something I didn't have, that love affair. It was just like something that was weighing me down and I couldn't get rid of.
Right.
I didn't love it by no means. I didn't like getting high.
Well,
But at a point, you have to get high to feel okay.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's
You can
absolutely
hate it
crazy.
with everything in you, but you're still going to do it.
I remember getting high and crying because I was fucking high and I didn't want to be. I mean, I wanted to be, but I didn't want to be. I didn't want to have to be.
I wish I was that type of person that could just use and be like, well, I'm good. Next day, not use and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what it is to be that guy.
it's fun.
Yeah.
I also
I
did.
guarantee it, man.
I also did love it though. There was a time when I loved
Oh,
it. It
yeah,
was
in the
great.
beginning
Yeah.
was fucking fantastic. I'm like, this feels great.
This is so good.
Yeah, man. Because I started when I was, I started using, because I was doing like steroids, right? For the first time. I got caught really quick and I had to put it away. But I didn't like the shots. And I was selling pills at the time. So I was like, yo, I'll take a little pill. It'd make me forget about the shot. And sure enough, it's just one thing after. Then I hurt myself and was like, I was fucking done, dude. But back then, you could call the doctor, yo. You could be like, you could run out of a 90-day prescription in like 20 days. Call the doctor and be like, yo, I was just hurting so bad that I'm out. The dude would just call it in and fill it for me.
I should say I tripped and fell, and it went down the air conditioning vent.
I thought I was so cool, though, because I would have the pills and stuff, and I'd be at the strip club just, like, knocking them back, like, pouring them on myself.
So cool.
That sounds awesome.
It was at the moment. Yeah.
Look, there was someone, I can't remember where I heard this fucking story, but they're I think it was pain pills or benzos. It was one of the ones that, you know, people abuse that fell in the toilet.
Yeah.
But, like, she knowingly, like, people knew this, like, kept all her medication in the same place, and only those got knocked in the toilet and dissolved. So she called in to, like, get more, like,
get more.
That, like, this shit didn't fucking happen, bitch. You took them all.
I'd be drinking the toilet water for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, one time I was at a strip club, right? And I had taken a bunch of mushrooms. I've been drinking. I took a bunch of mushrooms. I'm in the bathroom, right? And it comes on real quick. I got to puke. So I puke, and there's all these little bits and pieces of mushrooms. I picked everyone back up and I ate it.
Dude.
It's like, I'm not getting rid of this high.
Was that the same night that we got kicked out?
Yeah, that we got kicked out. I puked in the bathroom.
Ain't gonna sober
I picked
me.
them up off the restroom bathroom, bro.
That's gold.
And ate them because I was like, because I didn't have any more. I'm like, I want these mushrooms in my face. Take them.
Kind of reminds me of the Wolf of Wall Street. He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't do that. It's just that mentality.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
When he's on that boat, you know, and he's like, "Give me the drugs, Donnie." He's like, "I will not die sober."
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm not. Hey, I told her I'm not, because once you get to a certain age, dude, life starts to dwindle and go downhill and fucking suck.
Right.
And you see these old people shitting on themselves. They can't control their bladder, all that stuff. When I get there, bro, that's the day I relapse. I'm going out.
That's when the ride really begins.
You're goddamn right.
It's so
dude.
funny to me because I've talked to so many people and you hear it and stuff like, and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to die drunk. I don't want to die with a drink in me and shit like that. So you hear that shit in
That's
AA.
absurd.
Yeah, you hear that shit in AA a lot.
Yeah.
And
That's
all
my
I can
last
think is,
ride, yo.
See, that's
No.
part of the cultishness.
Yes, they do. I've
Yeah.
heard that's the only place I've ever heard it. And then like TV shows where they're talking about people in AA or
Yeah.
someone's acting like they're a member.
Yo, I feel like being
Acting.
sober
Yeah, fuck that shit.
is easier when I was open with everybody and like brutally honest with them. Like, yo, I'm a fucking addict. I went to prison, all that shit. I've been able to keep myself. Where I think being anonymous makes it worse because you can't be honest with other people, and the people you know are all in AA and they're anonymous, so you can't talk about your friends to other people. So who do you have? You just have that anonymous club you go to every fucking week.
Right.
And this is what I told her. I don't really agree with AA. AA was never for me. The group thing, going to a fucking meeting, all that was never for me because it made me feel worse. You know what I mean? Like it set me apart and all, whatever. But what happens if like all the AAs shut down? There are gonna be a lot of drunk motherfuckers
Well, then
tomorrow.
you just have different things open up.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have it. They'd have the same books.
Yeah.
They just call it something else, like Todd's Clean Path.
Yeah.
There's certainly like all different kinds of options out there. They have some
I'm
that
just
are
saying, what if they all shut down?
everything.
I guess
do?
what would lead to that?
I don't know.
Someone
'Cause that would be
just
a dark
make
time,
another
boy.
one.
You
If
think?
that happened, someone would make a new one because they have like Smart Recovery was made because people liked the format of AA but didn't want like the spirituality part of it.
Yeah, let me rephrase. What if there was not like okay, you like your sponsor and stuff.
The shit.
Say you're an addict because you're an addict, right?
You don't
and
know
then
me.
Your whole being sober depends on your fucking sponsor in the program. But if that shuts down, like there's no more of that and no more of your sponsor, like she dipped out too. Like,
So not just the
are you
program is
gonna go
gone,
back
like
to
the
using it?
mentality behind it and like
All
the
of it.
structure
Well, that's what.
Yeah.
and the desire to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like what happens when
That's
all that's
what-
not there to back you up?
I'm saying is, one, someone would make something new, and two,
Skeletor would come through.
Yeah. That's why you can't rely on somebody else for your recovery.
Right.
If you're going to be fucking sober, be sober because you don't want to fucking do drugs. Don't do it because your fucking sponsor helped you through the shit. You got to be sober for you.
Don't clean your room because your mom told you to. Clean it because you don't want to live in the filth.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. Like,
That's all there is.
Yeah, you have to find.
That's it.
That's it, boy.
You have to find like outside motivators to help you because you have to have a reason. I mean, if you don't have a reason, why the fuck would you ever not do drugs? That's retarded.
Right.
But you have
I remember
to,
when it was fun though.
You have to do it. End of
Yeah.
story.
Well, it's all a
remember
matter
it's
of
fun.
progress. It's fun, then it's not fun, then you move on to something that's great.
Nice,
and then
dude.
it's not great.
Nice.
Yes.
Real nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
I learned that in a book. A big
Hey.
old fat book.
Yo,
Big
talking
old
about
fat
books,
book.
man. That have you used that program Audible?
No.
Audible.
I'm
is
familiar with it, but I've never used it.
Yeah, it's an audio book. Oh, you know what it is.
Yeah.
But
Ricky
for those
Gervais
who
would always
don't
be
know,
about it.
it's an audiobook program. You just go and you can download these audiobooks, right?
It's
And
like
the fucking
Netflix
shit.
for audiobooks.
Yeah. I was kind of against audiobooks. I'm like, no, you got to read it to
Yeah.
understand. Yo, I fucking understand the book better. And then you can play it at like 1.5 the speed or, you know, two times the speed and shit.
Instead of talking like this, they talk like this.
Yeah, real quick. You get it. I read that one book, not read it, but I listened to it within like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I heard that book.
It's fucking awesome,
I heard
dude.
that shit. It was good in my
And I
ears.
understood more of it. I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
can catch up. Because it gave it to me fast enough to where I would retain it and be interested. And I didn't get out. Because I still have that Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I'm only like,
My two
4
dads.
chapters in, bro. And I've been at 4 chapters for like a month now.
That's how I am, too.
Well, and that sucks though because you really liked it. You need
Yeah.
to get it on audio. I know you said you were going to and didn't want to do it because you already have it.
Because I already have it.
But just
Yeah,
go
Maybe I
ahead and
can
get
read along. While the dude's reading, I can read the book and listen to it at the same time.
Yeah, it's like in
Double the
elementary
learning.
school when you go around the class, take turns reading.
it. Yeah.
Then you pause it and you read to him.
So they...
When
What?
I was gonna say, when you all listen to audiobooks, do you use visualization? Do you see
Oh, yeah.
what they're saying?
Also,
Yeah.
I'll see what they're saying and I'll kind of just like move my hands along as though like I'm talking it.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
kind of
cool.
it ingrains it into my
Interesting.
Hey,
body
that's a good way to learn and retain it.
It's you doing it. Yeah. It's
'Cause
cool.
even if I don't know the exact words, like I know the motions, I'm like, oh yeah, that connects to that
Yeah.
idea.
It's
Yeah.
funny because when I listen to audiobooks, if it's educational, I have to take notes because again,
I
though,
thought
I have
about
to
that,
be
though.
able to read
Yeah.
it and come back to it in my
So that's
head.
how I was like in classes. That's why I
Yeah.
feel like I would just write down the bullet points and then I could just
I switched from because I love personal development development books, motivational books, stuff like that. But there comes a certain point. Let me explain every motivational whatever, right? It's go out, do the work, get off your ass, quit being a lazy piece of shit, do
Yeah.
it. Don't talk about it, do it. Visualize it,
Don't
come
talk
up with
about
a
it, be
plan,
about it.
attack. Done. You don't have to read another audiobook.
Right.
Dude, I did it for you. That's all you got. Don't pay the money, don't do nothing. But I feel like a lot of people
Send us $5.
and me, like I wanted to take
cool commercial.
I wanted to take all of what they said in the books and put it to use. So like that's what I'm doing. I think I can get a little bit better on the doing part and going out there and making it happen. But I'm trying to put it all to work to see if it happens. I think a lot of people buy those books because it gives them that little boost of motivation to like, oh, I can do anything. And then they sit there and eat Cheetos and
They
watch
see the
Netflix.
possibilities and
Yeah,
they
they're like-
get off on that and then
That's why you'll be a broke motherfucker if you visualize a check for the rest of your life. What are you gonna do? Like visualize it? They're gonna take
Yeah.
the couch and the house, bro.
We're gonna
Get the
take the
fuck up.
couch.
and then under the couch is a check
Yeah.
that they also
Oh,
take.
damn.
That's mine too.
Back taxes and shit. Hey, but seriously though, I switched to business books,
Yeah.
right? And I found that like even when I'm working and listen to the book, like I can understand it more than I ever did just reading it. So I love these fucking audiobooks, bro. I'm gonna tear it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So you can listen better than you can read.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
That's
suggest
cool.
anybody that sucks dick at reading to do audiobooks.
Yeah.
Or anybody that
it's-
just kisses it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, if you like to kiss little
Yo, one
booties.
time, did I tell you this story?
Little
One time I
booty.
almost
Yeah.
kissed a dick. Did I tell it on air?
Yeah, like twice.
Twice.
Oh shit! I really,
Man,
you
I
know
love that
what?
story.
I
Would
think
you want to talk about it though?
I'm so upset that I
Third
never
time's a charm.
kissed the dick, bro. It could have been $1,000.
You were gonna get $1,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Could've
could be
changed my
richer
fucking
right
life.
But you would have spent it all on drugs. You
Yeah,
wouldn't be
but-
richer. You'd be deader.
now. Better.
You just would have extended your
now he's
high
just-
for a bit.
Now he's just a dead guy that kissed a dick before
Yeah.
he went. Like,
That'd
damn
be a
it.
cool tombstone. Kissed a dick for 1,000. 1,000 what?
I'd go down in history, bro. Like he kissed a dick for $1,000
That's
and
awesome.
lived to tell
Kissing
about it.
1,000.
It would definitely cost more for me to eat an ass, though.
What?
Oh yeah, it's totally.
I'm
oh
eating a
yeah.
butthole, like another guy's butthole, or
Doesn't
a
matter.
female.
Any ones that you don't know that you're not like intimate with, for sure. That's
I assume you'd
fucking-
have to be paid less for a woman.
No,
That
You'd
shit's
be paid more.
I don't
for
know.
a
I don't know
woman?
where we're going with this.
No, well, just like with the dude whose dick that you were gonna kiss, like it's not like he was your best friend or anything. It's not like you knew him well. It,
Yeah.
about putting my
Fuck, fuck that 1,000. Here's 5,000. Eat my ass. You
Yeah.
doing it?
No,
No,
I need
no.
way more motherfucking money for that. That's nasty.
Yeah. There's
I mean,
a
I'm
little
all
bit.
for doing weird shit for money, but you know, you
Yeah.
gotta pick and choose what weird shit you want to do for money, man. You get
Mm-hmm.
caught up in something you don't want to get caught up in. You lose a liver and all that shit.
Dude,
for
that's
sure.
where you get all the
You
hepatitis.
lose a liver
and
from
shit.
eating ass?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
man.
where you get all the hepatitis.
Yeah, bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
Yeah, it's all the it's all the same idea.
Fat bread,
Hell yeah.
fat brown,
Fat brown.
fat cat whole bag.
Fat what? Man.
What, man?
You know, it's hard to come back from that story because now that I can't tell it in detail like I did before.
Oh,
'Cause
you
you all
can.
shut it
It's-
down.
You
Yeah,
just do more
it's-
interesting things in life.
Yeah.
Like party
Glo-
naked.
Glory days.
I miss the day.
Yeah.
I miss the times when like, why I want to party naked. Once we used to back in the day party naked, like
You're not
butthole
even
naked.
30 yet, are you?
No,
And get it together.
I need to
You,
go.
you young buck.
Somebody somebody holler at me when they're gonna have a party because I
We've-
want to come naked.
You
Not
won't
come
go.
naked. I want to arrive naked.
Wanna ride?
You know you won't go.
naked.
We've really
Oh,
settled
yeah, we
down. It's
Yeah.
just like we'd rather sit on the couch and eat ice cream at night.
You know, the idea of it is great, but then
Yeah.
it's like, hey, come do that. No, not tonight.
Not tonight.
Not
I'd like to go to
What-
bed at a reasonable hour.
What is it that like? Because that came on pretty quickly. Like we didn't even like expect. Because when I first got out of prison, bro, like I was like, we gotta have all these friends. We gotta do all this shit. And then somewhere along the line, we were just like, hey, you want to chill at the house? And that was it.
I'm
I-
so glad because I never wanted to do any of that. Not never. It was fine. Like I'm always along for the ride, but it's like I got lazy and just old.
But
I'm
why
along
do
for the
people-
ride, but I don't love it.
I wonder why, because like me, I guess it's that moment in life where I'm like, we have to do something. I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to go do it. So now I feel bad for not going out. You know, I feel guilty for
It
the
has to do with
relationship. And all.
exploration and learning, and then
Yeah.
the toll that it takes on you physically and mentally. It's just not worth it.
No.
It's like you drop a rat in a cage. At first, he's all like, you know, like freaking out, looking everywhere.
Calms down.
And then he calms down. You've calmed down.
Yeah.
And then you can start to explore the edges of your world, and then you get into the more
don't-
esoteric, weird shit. And
Yeah.
then nobody knows who you are anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the guy I knew.
Straight jacket.
Be a
now.
rat in a box, man.
Yeah.
But I think more people need to embrace chilling the fuck out. Like you don't always have to be going to drink beer and get fucked up and wasted.
Yeah, well, and it's just a lot of
Oh, look like you're going to make a big butt.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you had that.
Oh.
I was like, oh, here it comes.
No,
Get
I-
him.
But
I've bit my lip like 5 times sitting here, and I'm
You
just
jerk.
Yeah,
All
but it's
right.
a lot of just society's expectations. You feel like
Yeah.
you need to do something because you've
Society
been,
tells you
Yeah,
that.
you've been told you're this certain age, you should be doing this. Like, fuck that shit.
I feel like I was told that, you know, you shouldn't be doing it, but that people are doing it anyway. And I was like, hey, what the hell is this all about? I want to party.
Yeah.
What's that? Let me rage.
let
Yeah.
me rage.
Well, and I enjoyed that shit when I was younger, but I just
Get all the energy to burn off.
I remember when we went to that Misfits concert. That was
Mick
weird
shits.
to say. And
The Mick
dude,
Jits.
she was like, I want to be at the front of the watch. Okay, check this out. This is how you tell. She was over 30 at the time.
Watch
Yeah.
this.
She was like, yo, I want to be at the front of the stage. I want to see the stage. I want to be in the front, right?
Hell yeah,
so we
you
were
gotta
like, if you count the people as rows, we were like 4 rows back.
Yeah,
4
we
or
got
5
there
rows back.
hours early, like
Yeah.
2 hours, I
Sat
think.
through
Yeah.
fucking. We sat through Deftones and Rob Zombie. And
Yeah.
so it was like 2 hours, man. And then, so the concert starts. We're not even fucking, and we sat there the whole time. We could have been chilling in the back, whatever.
And they
Yeah.
came
Relaxing.
on late.
They came on late.
Of course it did. It's probably
Just
Jerry's
fucking-
fault, fucking bitch.
You know how short
Devil
their
walks
songs
not
are,
right.
bro. Their songs are so short. So like a minute went in, and Sarah looks back at me because it was so fucking intense.
I don't
it was
even
like
think
a
it
sea
was
of
a
people.
minute. I feel like it was the first 15 seconds.
Yeah,
It
dude.
was quick.
Yeah.
And she looks back at me like she was about to die, dude. She was like, "Get me out of
It
here!"
was like every motherfucker that went to that concert was pushing in from the back, and my feet weren't even touching the ground, and we were moving. So
Yeah.
we were moving, and my feet aren't on the ground. And I was
crowded
like,
to death.
I've never
weird.
had anxiety like this, and I was instantly like, if I fall, I'm gonna
dead.
fucking die. He's
Yeah.
gonna die. This is not a good situation, and I was.
You know what
so,
surprised me though?
We got out real quick.
Yeah,
Trampled by
what
fiends.
surprised
Mm-hmm.
me is how, because even people around us were like getting knocked down, getting sick, blah blah blah, because they were getting too hot. What surprised me is how, because you think of like a punk rock group of people,
Mm-hmm.
they seem like kind of assholes and stuff. You think they would be rude and fucking unruly,
Yeah.
but dude, like the minute she was like, I gotta go, people were like trying to clear it and like yelling, like
They
"God,
were
I was
I'm
thinking,
coming
like,
out."
I found that, like,
Yeah.
the punk crowd tends to be pretty nice.
Fuck
They're
yes.
a
Even in a
thoughtful
mosh
group.
pit.
Because, you know, they're not the type, well, most of them aren't the type to just follow trends.
Yeah.
Some are like, oh, yeah, they wear safety pins in their nose. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
The-
I've been wondering
for
what
the
to
most
do
part,
with
they're
these.
a pretty nice crowd.
Fuck yeah. They
I've,
just go against the grain.
We went to a Guar concert. I don't know if that's the one you
Guar.
went with us, but
Hell
Yeah, that was the one because I think we've only seen them once,
twice.
right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we
Twice.
have. Mhm.
I've only seen them once.
So we
them
went,
3 times.
and that was the first time I ever got into a mosh pit, and it was great. It was back
That
when I was
was
all
the
jacked
one.
up and wanting to fuck people up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I get in the fucking mosh pit. We're doing it. A bunch of guys are fucking like punching each other and all that shit. And all of a sudden, there's this like little chick, dude, and she gets in like, you know how them like
Yeah.
little chicks that want to
Yeah.
be like attention, like I want attention.
Yeah. And then
So
she
she
went and
comes in.
kissed a girl when she got out.
Yeah,
so.
dude. She
like,
fucking
"I'm a
turned her
man,
back,
too."
right? She pushed some dude and she turned her back on me. I was like, this is my opportunity, right? And I went full force, dude, and blew my fist through the back of her head. Cool. Knocked her down face first into mud and she slid. And I can't tell you how relieving that was. How fucking beautiful I felt
Yeah,
after.
dude.
This shit's great.
Like, I'm gonna show you little bit.
I guarantee she has probably done that at multiple concerts, and that has never happened to her, dude. She was probably
Yo,
like, "What the fuck?"
I did everything I could to knock her out.
The physical installment of Adam Shits on Women.
I've
That's
never hit
awesome.
a lady in my life, and that was fucking.
dude.
It
Yeah.
felt so good.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting up in the pit and being all,
I wouldn't
you're going to
even.
get it.
Yeah.
I don't even make that shit up. I hit her as hard as I could. I'm not even gonna
Yes.
church that one up as hard as I could in the
Shit.
back of the head.
Dude, I remember when you
She
got
got
out
up,
of that
though.
shit, you were fucking ecstatic. It was
Yeah.
just like the best experience of his life was being
Yeah.
in that mosh pit.
I'm glad I did that before. Like I hurt my neck and all that shit.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. I think everybody should do it once.
Yeah.
It was fucking fantastic.
I can't. Well, one, I'm very sensitive to pain. I'm a big pussy. I can't handle it. And two, I just don't want to get hit. There's nothing in me that wants to get hit. But I used to stand like right on the. I'd be the
Oh, push
pusher back.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
See, I
but-
don't like, you know, one, I wear glasses.
Yes.
So, you know, that. But I feel like I'm a little concerned that I would get caught up in it.
Mm-hmm.
and I might go a little too hard.
Yes.
And then I'd be that one guy that's just like throwing fists and shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, get this guy the fuck out of here.
The song's
That's what happened.
over,
I
He's just
man.
moshing. What are you doing?
That's what happened. I didn't know if there was like a code to it or a certain level you have to stay at.
Yeah.
But I was giving everything I had to fuck these people up.
That's how it seems
Hell
like you
yeah.
have to be if you're going to do it genuinely, because
Yeah.
it's just a massive release. And if
Yeah.
you're
It's
holding
very-
back, then you're not moshing. You're just fucking dancing around like a faux violent jackass.
And I caught a bunch of elbows and fists and shit. And because you're in it, you don't feel it because adrenaline and stuff. And you're right, dude. It was so relieving. It was just like, I felt I could go sleep like a baby now.
I've never moshed proper, so I mean, but does it feel like, is there an element of like being in the ocean? Like whenever you have the waves
Yeah.
and shit, where it's like it's out of your control, but you're still kind of with it.
Because you
That's
have so many
fucking
people
good.
pushing you back into it and back and forth. Back. You're not really. You don't have any control over where your feet. You're just trying to stay up,
Yeah,
upright.
I'm just in it.
Yeah, I can say that. That was just like the Misfits concert, dude. When she says that you didn't touch the ground, you didn't touch the fucking.
Not-
Everybody was. It looked like a sea of
Yeah.
people, like
It was like
waves.
this.
It was intense, dude. It's something that I hope everybody gets a chance to see one time in
As
their life.
like if you told that story about, it's like I saw the Misfits, and when they started playing, my feet weren't touching the ground.
Yeah.
That could be like a religious kind of spiritual thing if you leave out the part about the crowd.
Yes,
and then people like
absolutely.
hundreds of years from now, they're like, man, the Misfits are making people levitate.
Yeah,
Levitation.
dude. Yes.
That's how good they are.
And then that's framing.
Well, and then you couple that with grave robbing, and they're going to end up just
Yeah.
being fucking terrible.
Somebody once said about Guar is the fact that is an internal band, right? Or eternal band, right?
yeah.
Eternal.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't know who's in the suit.
Then you just
They
throw
can
new
replace
dudes
them.
in the suits.
Yeah, as long as they sound the
Well,
same.
they
and
even
play
had a
the
chick
same.
at one point
Yeah.
as their
Ain't that crazy to
their
think
lead singer.
about?
But the mentality is important,
Right.
because
Yeah.
if that starts to fall off, people will know.
That'd be scary, man. Even by a little bit, I think they would know.
Yeah.
Well, and
if
I've
they-
seen them with 3 different people
Yeah.
singing.
You've seen
They
the
had
same?
somebody different every single time,
it-
and it was equally excellent every time.
As long as they continue with their not giving a fuck,
Yeah.
they're fine. But the second they become at all apologetic, it's over.
Oh, yeah. It is for sure.
I hope
don't-
that never happens, dude. Because
No.
they
Oh,
were.
it's Guar, man.
I didn't think I'd like them, and
Oh,
I didn't think I'd
perfect.
like that punk show. I think because I'm a lover of music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love classical, country, rock.
All right,
fucking
come on.
screamo.
You love music. No,
Yeah.
no, no. Nobody loves screamo.
There's some shit, dude. When I'm working out, bro, like that's
Mm-hmm.
the shit.
Yeah,
But-
he's got himself a little, like, weird
Playlist.
screamo metal, I guess, channel. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Mm.
Bro. Bruh.
Yes.
Yes.
But you were talking
Yeah. Anyway,
about, yeah.
continue.
Oh no, I think that if you truly appreciate what music is, then you truly have to appreciate every single form of music, no matter how simplistic, no matter how intricate. You have to love music, and that's the bad thing about music nowadays is that they've dumbed it down. Like they use before back when like classical would do workups, like they do these the sharps and these rises and these falls, and then they give you the climax with your major amount of chords, climax. Now they just give you all the climax just straight to your face, and
Straight to
there's just no.
But it fits in
Structure.
with the cultural climate.
I know that's
know.
what's bad,
That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, we'll get back to paying attention and having
right?
the rise and the fall. But I mean, I guess it's still there.
Yeah.
It's just you have to seek it out. Because I mean, I feel like
Oh,
that's pretty much what Explosions in the Sky is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're
Most
just
definitely.
the rise and the fall.
Yeah.
Well, Angels and Airwaves very much.
So,
they
hey, did you
got-
hear their new song?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give
It's
it a little
cool.
listen.
Tom's
Yeah,
getting
check
it,
it out.
boy.
Hell yeah, but they're all just kind of up and down and crescendos, and
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to, because it gives you something to anticipate. You're like, oh, is it coming out? Is
Yeah.
it coming
Yeah.
out?
And then
Well,
something
that's-
drops
Get it.
out, and it's like, ooh.
Oh.
that's how you add emotion to music.
Right.
Other than
Yeah.
just like you can tell the people who when they wrote something they were going through some shit.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's definitely how you add that in there.
See, like, there's a lot of 30 Seconds to Mars crap that has, like, the rise and the fall and the things drop out and shit. But then they have this one song where, like, Something of One.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a hidden track on Beautiful Lie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like go.
Yeah.
Like it just
Yeah.
and it just doesn't stop, and it's awesome. But yeah, you can't have that all the time.
I'd like to see more acoustic stuff from them, and him going full force on acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they should
he doesn't
actually make
always.
an acoustic album.
Yeah, man.
Like,
But where he's
based
giving
in
it, like he's giving it, because
Yeah, not dialing it back and
Yeah.
shit for like
a lot of his
the
acoustic performance,
feel. I
Yeah.
hate when people do
performances.
that.
Yeah.
that he does that, and it's
How's
just fucking like it's a build up for nothing. It's like blue balls.
Yeah,
So there was
I
a
waiting for this.
exactly.
That one time though, where like the one band, I was in a band in Arlington, and we played that acoustic show, and I just sang everything as though we were electric.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
I liked that, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they did.
No, that shit was great.
So it's a
why-
cool idea, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's always gonna work.
I think for the songs where there's definitely some what's their fucking name? We're 30 Seconds to Mars songs and Foo Fighters songs
Oh,
where
Foo Fighters the same. Yeah.
the best part of it is this one vocal thing.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they don't fucking do it, dude. It's
Yeah.
such a disappointment.
That's like the song.
really is.
Yeah.
Breathe from Breaking Benjamin. The entire thing, I'm waiting
Yes.
for the double fucking hit on the
Uh-huh.
ride cymbal. That's all that
Yeah.
fucking.
It's like
it's
that's
just
that
perfect.
thing.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I'll
is
listen to the
perfect.
whole song over and over again just for that part because it's so well done.
I like
well
that
done.
whole song. It's the only song by them I truly enjoy, and
Yeah.
I could listen to it multiple times in a day. Just throw that bitch on repeat. It's just
Ain't
great.
it funny how we
Play
all
my
have,
song.
we all
Yeah.
have artists that we listen to that are just terrible, and you
Uh-huh.
know they're terrible, but
Yeah.
you're like,
But there's
man, I
just
just
something
That's-
about
that
them.
does it.
Yeah,
fucking love them, dude.
Yeah, definitely. So.
You all said that that 21 Pilots guy,
Mm-hmm.
the lead singer, that he couldn't sing. I think he can sing.
He said that. I think he can sing
No.
too.
I think he can. You don't think so?
No.
Well, fuck.
I mean, no.
I think it's good. It's
Yeah.
just
I mean, it
odd.
works. Like, I like it.
Well, he's definitely not tone deaf. I mean, he
No.
keeps a tone.
Yeah.
so-
You know,
but like, he can't sing in the sense that his voice is kind of annoying.
we were saying
Oh.
the music has
really?
kind
I don't
of
get
gotten more simple and straight to the point, and they give you all the climax stuff. But I think the whole world's doing that now. Like
Yeah.
the internet's giving you
Well, it's-
right then and there.
Yeah, it's so just,
part
I
of
need
the-
to know this in 15 seconds.
It's part of the slam dunk culture.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nuance is dead.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you about when I'm talking. If I can understand what you're about to fucking, I'd rather just you shut up and I'll go ahead and fucking finish it in my head. We'll go on about our day. But I like that with everything. When I'm learning music, it has to be done in a way that breaks it down to like this is it. Throws it in your face and takes off running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I like that. If you can give me all the information that way, I'd rather have that than sit there. Let's make a study in 2 hours and we have to sit here and do the structured. Like, fuck that.
See, I feel like there's merit in both of them. And if you don't combine both of those learning styles, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're just learning the 30-second kind of style, you're a shallow shithead.
Not truly
See,
learning.
And
the-
if
Yeah.
you know all the other stuff, all like the background shit, I guess is what it would be called, then you
Yeah.
can make those 30 seconds better because you have a
Yes.
true understanding of
Yeah.
music's function.
It's like if you're reading like really in-depth shit and somebody writes a paragraph and it's like dense as fuck, like that history professor I had, Thackeray.
Yeah.
Like you read a paragraph of his shit, he says more in a paragraph than other people could say in a fucking chapter.
I failed his
Yeah.
class.
And it's intense, dude.
Yep. I think I got a C- on one test.
Yes.
Yep.
I think I got a B in there.
I straight up got an F.
God.
I didn't even get a
Straight-
D. I got an
straight up.
F.
He's
Straight
rough,
up got an
man.
F.
But yeah, and that's why you have to have both
I
learning
guess.
styles.
Well, I feel
Otherwise,
like
you
it's
just kind of
what
Yeah.
I did with the electric stuff. That I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I did learn the background, so now that when I get information, I understand everything that leads up to this, right? So if you say something and I'm like, oh, that's because all this other information I have
Right.
tells me
Yes.
that it's this way. So you're right about it. Like when you
exactly
learn, you got to
why
learn
you-
the back.
I
Yeah.
was thinking like with your electrician shit. Like if you only learned one way to like
Oh,
hook up
shit.
a lamp or whatever.
You'd be hit.
I don't understand electricity, but
But
if
no,
you only
that's
knew one
accurate.
way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But
be
since
hit.
you know more and you have a wider thing, you're like, oh yeah, this is cool.
You're
It's like
essentially
somebody can
ready for
hand
anything.
me like a generator drawing or something like that, and then I can like I've never done it before, But as long as I can see it, read it, see the lettering, all that, the markings, like I can put it together and make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you have to have all the back stuff that leads up to it. So
Yeah.
you're right.
I think that's exactly why you like, I guess, music that way, or you want music that way and information that way, is because you know all this other shit. And you're like,
Yeah.
I get that. Give me this shit so I can put my own spin on it. So I
Yeah,
can
it's like
accept it the
You
way
go
that
so
I
in
want.
depth with music and shit, but you're like, anything else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
I don't
Oh,
want to.
yeah.
I want to play every instrument on earth, but I don't want to learn other things in depth.
No, nothing.
Which I guess is understandable.
That's what I said, man. There's
Yeah.
certain things that
Yeah.
I'd rather just, I don't need to know. Like, I'd rather learn what I want to learn. And when I get interested, it could be random shit. And then I'll be like, I want to learn this. And then I'll learn it and then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, what's next?
Chase your passions.
Yeah.
And then when you
Why
catch
not?
them, move on to another one.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see you do something that you can't do.
Right.
Everything you've ever done,
At
you've
least
been
a
good
little
at.
bit.
I mean, and even from like painting my toenails to
Oh, I
playing
paint
Yeah, it's
instruments
hard.
bro.
to I can't fucking do it. I haven't painted my toenails in 7 fucking years. I can't do it.
I paint toenails like a motherfucker, bro.
Nice.
They're
I'll
fucking
paint yours
beautiful.
if you want me to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But all the way up to just electricity. I mean, everything he's been fucking good at. It's
Yeah.
crazy
You're a
to me.
talented man, Adam Ashby.
That's just because I stray away from things that I know I can't do. I'm like, I know I can't do that, so I'm just going to say I'm not interested in it.
I'm
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm just
That's why I
I
don't play
don't
Street
think that-
Fighter.
I
Fuck
don't
that.
right.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think that's right.
Right?
Right.
Right? I feel
Right.
you.
Right.
Right, bro.
Damn it, man.
Right, bro.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'm excited about learning my own shit. That's what I was saying about starting my own company and going out and just quitting the job and trying to figure it out from there. The funny thing is you adapt. Like, you're going to figure it out. And there's something that Tony Robbins said, that you have to do things not for the money, but because you really want to do it.
Yes.
And that's, I helped, look, just a little story. I helped this guy with a ceiling fan. I had to go over there twice.
No. No stories.
Each time, it was like 2 hours.
Give me
right?
the information.
So 4 hours, and I wasn't going to charge this guy. I was like, you know what? I liked who he was. I was like, whatever, I'm going to do it. All right, so we went back over because he invited us over for dinner because he was like, you know, did a lot of work for me.
He
and
even
shit like
left
that.
without payment. He just did the shift for him.
Dude gave me a check. I put it in my pocket. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, well, whatever. I probably won't cash it.
Yeah.
He paid me twice what I would have charged for a ceiling fan. And it was because I didn't do it because I wanted the money. I did it because I
Wanted
liked
to
the
help
guy,
a brother
wanted to
out.
help him out.
Mhm.
And ceiling fan, I do electric anyways, so why not? And I got paid twice what I normally would get paid. So in quitting the job, and that's kind of a true statement, that if you do whatever you do because you love it and you're passionate about it, the money will come.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very true
Yeah,
statement.
you'll be taken care of.
As long as you're
Yes.
doing what you know, acting in your passion. Or
What if you don't
something
have
love.
passion, though? How do you find that shit?
It's what you
Good
don't.
luck.
Just do whatever you like or love, or something that you could do and not think twice about it. Like, you don't have to think, oh, I gotta get up and fucking, get prepared to do whatever it is. Whatever you can do without feeling any emotion towards. You know what I mean? Like hateful emotion towards.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a passion.
I think too, self-awareness comes into play in that, because I have
Gassy motherfuckers.
like no idea.
Get some gas.
I know, right?
Yeah, come on, bitch!
You
Don't
barren
act like
bitch.
you're not gassy with your nasty, dead, rotten animal ass farts.
Fucking dead ass.
They come out. It's so crazy how bad they are sometimes, bro.
Legit dead animals.
How could something smell that bad and not be dead?
Yeah.
You know what I
How's
mean?
Your gut not falling out of your
Yeah.
fucking body, dude. I don't know.
Because it's all hot and closed off.
Right. But
Yeah.
I'm always hot and closed off. So why are sometimes farts
My man's
hotter?
sexy but distant.
How does a fart come out hotter than your body temperature?
Dude, it's like it would
How?
burn your eye. I can taste it sometimes, dude. It's so fucking stout.
Thick.
This shit's
Look,
nasty.
it's thick.
God.
Bro. Thick.
Yeah, that is thick.
Shit.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, so yeah.
That was another episode of Wildly Uninteresting where we get together and we talk about things that don't truly matter.
I just want
but
y'all to
matter.
know that my mom is nuts.
Nuts, yo. Nuts to butt. Do you know?
Nuts
You
to
don't know when
butts.
your next show is?
What? No.
Okay,
What?
we
He
have.
was fucking mugging you or something. What?
We
No,
got
I don't know.
got our t-shirts in. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants a t-shirt, in the motherfucking comments, leave your size, and that's all you gotta do. You just gotta leave your size, and
Leave
we
your
will try to
size.
get you a shirt as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We'll post it up on Facebook and Instagram, shit like that.
Say, let us know if
Just
you have
get
a
an idea.
preference of gray or black. We can't
No,
guarantee
no.
it.
Fuck them.
I'm
We
No.
going
ain't
to say
giving
we're
them
playing
nothing they
September
want.
5th at Mag Bar.
Mag Bar in
September
Louisville,
5th.
September 5th.
That's a
Motherfucking
goddamn
fifth.
Thursday.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
Thursday show,
I hope
dude.
I asked
Nobody's
off for
coming to
that.
that.
Motherfucking
Nobody's
fifth.
coming
All right,
to
fine.
that.
Fuck that. September 14th in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. That's a Saturday. Make
Oak
plans
Ridge?
to travel.
Oak Ridge, Oak Ridge.
But if you're tuning in for the first time, we definitely appreciate you checking us out. Hit the subscribe button, the little bell, and leave a fucking comment.
Just click it.
If you
Hit it.
are
Punch
a
it right
viewer
in the face.
that's been here, definitely comment. Let us know what you think and what you want to hear.
Man, Zach almost commented on something the other day.
Zach, bro.
You're
And
a
then he
cock.
fucking didn't, so I told him to make a video response, and he's like, no, that's not going to happen either.
Listen, Zach, you
Damn.
need to put forth some fucking effort.
Yeah, you fucking worthless bitch.
Bitch.
But live long and prosper.
Oh, he did bring me some. He
cuz.
brought me some sausage balls
Oh,
to
cool.
work last night.
Hey, I had
'Cause,
sausage balls today.
Yeah,
Got some
they were
sausage
awesome.
balls
They
for
made me
you.
happy. I ate them
For you
cold.
both.
No,
Both have 'em.
One each.
Yeah.
About to get weird.
got to
Another episode of Wildly Uninteresting.
What do you mean another one? That was the first one.
The first episode.